Yo, what's up, y'all? I feel like I haven't done one of these in a second where I just talk to y'all about, things that's going on in music. So, right now, as I speak, there's a conversation going on about the Even.biz platform as it relates to the infrastructure they created for artists, independent artists, for their direct to consumer platform. So, the artist Russ, he commented on the structure of how the whole site is set up, because they do take 20%, but it's a free platform to use for artists to upload their music and basically get profit from the music. You can set your own price, your fans can set their own price, boom, everybody wins, right? So Russ is saying that it can be a win, but it can be a loss, which that's with anything. You taking a risk with anything. So what he was saying is that it's basically lower risk, right, to support an artist on streaming sites, as opposed to a higher risk of buying that artist's music on a platform like Even. And the only reason why that's a thing is because independent artists have been led to follow the same structure and strategy as major artists, as major label artists. That was never supposed to be the plan. Independent artists are independent, so they should think independent, meaning your marketing is your bread and butter, okay? When you're with a label, you don't have to think about marketing because the label is doing your marketing. So when it comes to independent fans, okay, they are also educated the same way independent artists are educated, if that independent artist isn't directly educating their fans on how to support them, okay? So if an independent artist don't know that your route to success is through your marketing, it's not through just sitting it on the streaming platforms and letting it sit and telling your people, hey, I dropped a project. That's not how you make money. Independently, you make money by either, putting your project on like a Bandcamp, or like have your own website, or like a Even.biz, right? Now, Russ is saying that technically you could bypass all of that because Even is technically a middleman, and you could bypass the middleman by just making your own website, putting your music on it, and, selling it to your fans. But what Russ also said is that usually if an artist has only been, on streaming, it would be difficult for them to understand how to push, sales for an independent project that's off of a streaming site, like on a Even.biz. So the reason why, though, is because artists have not adopted the concept of marketing. That's not just because of no reason. Like, you can still win. It's just you now as an independent artist have to rely on your marketing. It's not that, you put the shit on streaming and it just sits there and does its own thing. You're not with a major label. That's what major label artists do. They could go to sleep after them niggas put their album up on all streaming platforms. They could take a break. They could take a vacation. You cannot, as an independent artist. You have to know how to market your shit. Period. If you don't know how to market, it's gonna be crickets for you, respectfully. So what Even.biz is doing is assisting those artists on how to understand the concept of marketing. If you're an independent artist and you've only come from the streaming world, putting your project or singles on streaming platforms and thinking that can just tell your Instagram followers or whatever what to do and they're gonna go get your music, that's not enough. That's not effective. At that point, it's still just a hobby, and that's cool, but do you want to make money or do you want to be doing hobbies all day? So respectfully, what's going on with Even.biz is they're literally, without saying, you have to be your own independent boss and your own independent marketing strategy or team by putting this shit on our platform. You can put it on our platform just like you could put something on streaming, but you gotta market it if you want people to actually come to the Even.biz platform and buy the actual product or project. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, Russ got some points, but Russ, you already been educated, bro. You already put yourself in a high standard as an independent artist, took the time to research, took the time to build your infrastructure, took the time, I'm pretty sure, to find investors or invest your own dollars into your brand, right? Most of these independent artists going to Even, they probably got $5 in their account right now. You feel me? Some of these artists is like, they still scared to put $50 on an ad. So you can't really, talk too much shit about the platform, because it might take another good 4 years to see the full longevity of what is going on and the full results of what's happening with the independent, shift right now. So everybody can say what the fuck they want to say, but this shit worked. Like, it worked for my artist, and it works for any artist that understands the concept of marketing. So if you don't, that's up to you now as the independent artist to figure out what is marketing. How can I end up understanding how to market my own project efficiently? You link with a marketing agency or a marketing consultant, and you figure out how to put a plan together to make your project now make sense. But the option is not to, just not use the platform. Now, yes, you can, as an artist, get your own website. But from experience of working with independent artists, usually independent artists don't like to do legwork. You feel me? Now, that's not an excuse, because you should do legwork. Like, you should have a website. You should have ways for other, fans or whatever to find your product. If it's, your website, if it's some merch, if it's whatever it is, all of these are marketing strategies. So it always will always and forever always come back to marketing. The quality and value of marketing is about to be all you need for the independent music route. Period. Whether you want to use an even.biz, your own web